Hello everybody, welcome to Technique Tuesday. Today we're going to be making a curtain call card because it opens like curtains at the side, which is deliciously ironic as there are real curtains, well, real curtains on the inside. I was so excited to make this card. I had to wait for my paper to come in and all that good stuff. It was inspired by this card. I made it my upline downline meeting with my wonderful upline Brenda Miller, so she had designed this for us all to make, and I was so entranced by it. When I thought I was going to make the curtain call card, it was pretty much an easy choice. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. It's using the Zany Zoo paper. Comes with all sorts of Zoo Crew is the name. Zany Zoos is the name of the stamp set, and it's got the Zany Zoo dies, but this is how it's all encompassed together. So let me fling that off to one side. It's using a whole sheet of cardstock. One of the other cards we made recently used a whole sheet, but it's quite worth it, I feel. So this is basic black, and it's cut in half at 4 1/4, and then this is the part we use for the body of the card, and then 4 1/4 left, so I cut it down to 8 1/2 and scored it at 4 1/4, so it has this middle piece. This is reminiscent of the VW card that we made, but this piece is going to go on the inside and lift up, and this little piece is kind of just spare actually. As always, of course, the directions and the dimensions will be in the bottom for you, so you don't have to panic and follow along too closely. We need 2 pieces of basic white, which are cut at 4 by 4. And then I die cut out this little cutie pie. The top of, well, it uses the scallop, so I'm guessing that's the top of the curtains. The curtains themselves, and 2 little tie backs, and then I just cut a little half by 4 inch piece of crumb cake to be the stage, because I didn't want it just to be suspended in midair. And then these little folded pieces of the outer curtain, we need a little assortment actually. So I used designer series paper, and we needed 4 1 inch by 4 inches. We needed 2 1/2 inch by 4 inches, and then I just used basic white and stamped it with red using this little celebratory stamp, and again they are 1/2 inch by 4. So there's 4 of those, 2 of the designer series paper, 4 of the 1 inch by 4, and then this lovely little variety. This you could stamp if you don't have the paper. You could stamp it and color it with your Stampin' blends. I actually took it out of, well, this is the paper that I used for the background, but I did cut this lovely little treasure out of a piece of the designer series paper. There were 2 of them, and I just cut and used the dies and cut her out. So without further ado, let's get assembling. So I'll just pop these off to one side. So the piece that is the main body of the card, it's 4 1/4 by 11, but it is scored at 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 3/4, and then we scoot over to 8 1/4, 9 1/2, and 10 1/4. And then when it all folds in, it actually becomes 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it fits inside a standard envelope. So what we need to do first is we need to add this piece, so when the curtains are opened, this lifts up. And the best way I found of doing that was to use the liquid glue, because it's a little bit forgiving, and when you put it in, you've got just a second or 2 to sort of wiggle it around and be sure it's in the right place. So I'm just going to eyeball it into the middle, not particularly measured. I think it's about 1/2 inch on each side. and then line up the fold at the top, and then just give it a quick second to set. And there we have the inside flap. Then what we can do is we can go ahead and put the 1-inch pieces onto their little area. Oops. I love the designer series paper because it's two-sided. Then I'm always sad to see the side that I'm sticking down, even though I want the other side. It's like, oh, goodbye little friends. So we'll stick that on there, one on there, and then flip it over, because this will actually show when it's standing up or when it comes out of the envelope for the person who is lucky enough to receive it from you. And then the little black and white pieces go on the front. Oops, sorry about that. So they go here. And then the red ones just go on the inside. Assembling, it seems. So we'll pop those onto there. And we get to make a lovely curtain front. So this is how we do this. Again, it's really just a lot of sticking, to be honest. Once you've cut all the pieces, it's like an assembly fest. So we're just going to stick the stage to the bottom of the 4x4. The curtains, they've actually got a little bit that you can see through them, so I thought it would be best to attach those with the liquid glue. Dot, dot, dot. Sending Morse code messages to the okay, so, and we can just rest that one up against the stage to the edge. A little bit of glue may squeeze out, but it will dry in next to no time. And then this one, it was actually, I cut it the full length of the scallop, but I don't need all of the length. So what I thought I would do was try and make the scallops even and on the top, and then I can just go back in with my snips and take away the extra that we don't need. And that way you've got an even amount. And then these little guys, little tadgers, these little tie backs, again, we just need to put an itty bitty dot of glue on them. Oof. Hard to do really fine stuff when you try not to take forever on your video. But there we go. So that is the curtain. Let me just pop this on the inside. Actually, I'm going to stamp it first. So I've taken the happy birthday to you out of this Zany Zoo set, and I'm just going to stamp it in red. Make sure it's stamped nicely before we commit it to the inside. And then what I wanted to do was use the Let's Celebrate, which came out of the Sentiments set, Sentimental Park, and it's just the This Let's Celebrate. I thought that was jolly. I did it originally in black, but I think I'm going to try this one in red and see how it goes. So we'll ink it up with the real red, pop it at the top, close the ink down, and then we just need some dimensionals to go on the back of our little friend here. I'm using the mini dimensionals because there's actually, I don't know if you can see that, there's a hole cut, so she's not a solid. So we'll just pop, that seems to be the edge, gosh, that's a thick piece for an edger. So pop a few dimensionals on the back, quickly peel the backing papers off, and then she can be in her glory on the stage. Just pop her down there, and then last but not least, pop this onto the front, and there you have it, a curtain call for a curtain call card. I still think it's funny, I think it's great, but there we have it. So you can make these cards horizontally, you can actually make them vertically. I'll put the vertical dimensions into the description box below if you want to see how they look, but this is how it stands up. This is how it looks from head on when it's on the shelf or the bookcase. So there's the red one and there's the black one, sort of the same but different. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell if you would like to know when I've posted another Technique Tuesday, because that helps me keep bringing videos like this to you. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would absolutely love to be your person. If you want to do some shopping, please feel free to go check out my website, or you can, this is where you need to go to get the shopping cart. Happy shopping, and last but not least, thanks so much for watching.